that's going to be crucial in terms of writing that in a way that's understandable to the medical school admissions committees, but also. Well, hello, Peter.
How are you, Dr. Wright?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing well.
Yeah, great. Now tell us where are you at right now?
I'm at home. I live in New York.
Oh, in New York, in the city, or
one of the five boroughs in Queens.
Yeah, nice, very nice. Well, welcome to Am I Ready? And it's a great privilege that you're here tonight, and we're going to look at you and examine you and figure out kind of what's going on with you, and then we'll talk about all that. And so as we go along, don't hesitate to ask questions or make comments. Really the point here is for me to get to know you pretty well and give you my frank assessment of kind of where things stand for you. And then we'll move forward. So does that sound okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, great. Awesome. So let's go. We're going to look at your dashboard on Mapped and kind of see what's going on with that. And what I would like to do is we'll start out with the GPA graph. And why don't you? What we see here is a cumulative GPA of a 3.21, science GPA of 3.10, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your academic journey and kind of where things stand with that?
Yeah, I finished my undergrad in 2014, so it's been a minute since I was in school, and then obviously wasn't that great GPA wise. It definitely had that roller coaster ride towards the end. So I know you and Dr. Gray stress the upward trend a lot, and I had a downward trend. It's just the opposite of what we all want. So I had some gap, and then I joined the Army. I was with the Army for 4 years. Now I'm out of the active duty Army, and so now I'm starting school back.
Okay.
And the last couple semester is what I've been getting.
Okay, great. And so the last couple of semesters have been pretty good for you?
Yes. Well, yeah. Just last semester, I started this past spring, and I was able to do well. And semester right now is also looking pretty good so far.
Yeah. Now so you have a degree in what?
I have a degree in mathematics.
Okay. And that was from what school?
Stony Brook University in New York.
Okay. And you're going to school now where?
Rutgers University in New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in Jersey. Okay, cool. Excellent. And you're doing that full-time or part-time? School now?
Full-time.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Well, good. So, I think what's clear, and this is not going to be a big surprise to you, is that the current stuff that you're doing is going to be really important. It's going to be very important for you to do well in the classes that you're taking now. And because what you're doing really is establishing a new GPA, a post-bac GPA that says that you can really do this and you can do it at a high level. And so my expectation is that the science GPA is going to go up. Now the cumulative GPA is not going to go up. I mean, you're a mathematician, you get it. That you've got so many accumulated hours that cumulative GPA is going to go up very incrementally. But the science GPA should go up. But even at that, being a mathematics major originally, because you've got a lot of math scores, math classes, that even that science GPA is going going to go up, a little bit as you take more classes and stuff like that. But what we're going to focus in on is that post-bac GPA as a distinct GPA, and that medical schools are going to recognize that you're definitely a different person now than you were previously.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So absolutely. So let's go over to your MCAT scores. Let's stick with the numbers. And if we could go to the MCAT tab over on the left, perfect. And kind of look at this. Now, you've had quite a few practice exams, September, etc. And the last practice exam that you took looks like September the 19th. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. That was the last practice exam. Yes. that was your high exam in terms of practice scores at a 515, with pretty consistent scores except for the cars section, which is notably lower than the science sections and the psych social section. How did you feel about that in terms of the cars section? Has that been a bit of a struggle for you, or?
Yeah, to be honest, while I'm taking it, I don't necessarily find it too challenging, which is weird. I just think it's just like any other section, but it always turns out as the worst score. Yeah. And English is my second language. That also
affects
plays
things.
some part.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so then we have the September 27 was your real score, and that was at a 509. And so, how did you? It seems like the 515 looks like a bit of an anomaly in terms of the rest of your scores, which are much more akin to the 509. Actually, when I look at your practice test scores, if we exclude the 515, you're really at a 507, 508, 509, 506. And so the 509 looks comparatively pretty good when you sort of eliminate that 515. You agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now you're planning on, are you comfortable with that score? Are you thinking about retaking it, or where are you on that issue?
I'm pretty content with my score.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I definitely think it's as I said, it being pretty consistent with the practice test that you were taking. I think that's probably a good thing. I wouldn't be opposed to you thinking about retaking it, but if you were comfortable with that 509, then I think absolutely, I think it's a good score to sit on. It's certainly not. I think it's well within the context of competitive, depending, and we're going to get here in a little bit to looking at some of the med schools that you're looking at in terms of where you might be applying, and we'll talk about those within the context of the GPA and the MCAT as we go along. So let's look at your activity screen, the tab of the activities. And you're going to have a humongous amount of military service hours, 35,640, which is a lot of, which is 4 years worth of military service, and and based on what you say here, it's you were a combat medic. Mm-hmm. Now, is this where your interest in medicine comes from?
Yes, absolutely. It played a big part. It's funny because I'm pretty unusual in a sense where I was math major undergrad, but I took all my prerequisites for med school. So I was a pre-med math major, and back then funny enough, I had no passion for medicine. Only reason I took all those classes were because all my other friends were taking them. So obviously, not the right mindset, didn't perform well. And then my exposure actually exposure as a medic actually changed my mind, and that's when I decided.
Yeah. So you did tours of duty, I'm sure, while you were in the military. So you must have seen quite a bit.
Yeah. I was never actually in a battlefield or anything else like that, but everything that happens on the state side pretty much experienced a lot.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Cool. Okay. And let's look at some of your other experiences. So the Army takes up, quite a bit of that, obviously, both in terms of leadership as a non-commissioned officer, section leader, and various honors and awards that you received in the military. Talk a little bit about the rest of these as we go through there. You've been looks like you've got some teaching experience in chemistry and in OChem. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, absolutely. OChem and Gen Chem, they were during my undergrad days, and I really liked chemistry, so I did well in those classes, and I just continued as teaching assistant during that time. And absolutely, I enjoyed those.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, we can scroll down a little bit on that particular one and go to page 2. Okay, and so we have some community service stuff with the Red Cross. Now, that is yet to be determined, or
right? I just recently signed up, so I don't actually have any hours with them.
Right. Okay. And then some more tutoring or teaching assistant type stuff back, I guess, when you were in school previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so the first thing that I note here is that all of your medical experience is in the military.
Yes.
Okay. And so, and that is not necessarily good or bad. It is what it is. And what I would encourage you to do is, which I would guess that you're already attempting to do, particularly by virtue of the fact that you've signed up with the Red Cross for that stuff, is trying to gain more experiences. Would that be accurate?
Yes, somewhat. That's like partially that, and also just trying to get involved more in the community. Yeah.
Right. Sure.
But that I'm not looking to get a ton of clinical experience from the Red Cross hours. So I have an EMT license with the one I got from the military. So I'm actively searching out for any EMT opportunities around town these days.
Right. Yeah. That's good. Good. Yeah, I definitely recommend that in terms of using that as a jumping off point. The fact that you're an EMT should give you some opportunities that would be definitely beneficial. I think it'll be a good idea to get a sense of what civilian medicine, looks like. EMT is going to give that to you a little bit, depending on kind of where you are. If you're doing transportation EMT, that's going to be one thing. If you're doing it resident in an ER or something like that, then it could change a little bit in terms of the experiences that you might have. But seeking out anything, I definitely think is a good plan for you. Absolutely. Let's go to and look at the med schools tab. Have you got some schools in there that you've kind of initially identified?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I have
Okay, good. Now, where did you grow up?
In New York, in
Oh, okay.
Queens, Long
Okay.
Island area.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So I see a DO school, Rocky Vista. You're applying. Your plan is to apply pretty broadly, MD and DO.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's a good plan for you. Definitely. I think now. Are you? If you I tell you what, let's just go to page 2 of the list. Kind of give me a sense. So, okay, I do see DO schools as well. Okay, good. A lot of schools in the New York, New Jersey area. Good. Yeah, page 3 be good. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now, do you have interest in the uniform services medical school or no?
I have.
Okay. Okay. So I just didn't notice it. So that is on your list as a potential medical school.
Absolutely. I
Yeah. Good.
thought
Good.
it was there. Yeah, I just might have missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. That would make sense to me. And I like to, and I think what you're going to find is that the DO schools, I think the fact that you have a lot of experience in the military, DO schools seem to be very attractive to not just non-traditional students like yourself, but also those with military experience and stuff. So I definitely recommend that that you do what you're doing, which is apply pretty broadly and really open up a lot of avenues. My guess is that you're going to pare this list down to what is your kind of plan in terms of the number of schools that you're thinking of applying to?
In my mind, I was just arbitrarily thinking half MD schools, half DO schools, so
Yeah.
about 30 or so
Okay.
schools.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Half DO, half MD. Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Okay. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I mean, it definitely the obviously we talk a lot on the Ask the Dean broadcast and these broadcasts sometimes too about some of the factors that weigh into how many schools you'll end up applying to will be financial factors. The cost of applying and kind of what that looks like and how much that's going to affect your ability to apply. So I would expect that would be definitely the case for most students. So, but I like the idea of you being willing to apply broadly to a variety of different schools. I feel very strongly about that. I think that you're really definitely doing the right thing there. So for sure. Good. So let's go back to the dashboard then.
Mm-hmm.
And so here are my thoughts, Peter, about your situation. Yours is a fairly common non-traditional student, post-bac kind of student situation. Didn't do great in college on the first go round, but are really pulling it back up as you go along. Definitely, there was a downward trend initially, but then as a post-bac student, you seem to be kind of recovering, and so that's a good thing. What I would say about the coursework that you're doing as a post-bac is that what you don't have the luxury of are a whole lot of B's. You're really going to have to pull some good strong semesters with good strong work, and that's I think that would be my expectation, and I'm sure yours as well. I feel good about the MCAT in terms of your 509. That you're in a neighborhood where you're going to get some attention, particularly as a with your background in the military, I think you're going to get some attention from a variety of different schools. I would suggest that as we had talked about, that you do as much work as possible to get some clinical experience in the short run. So we've got basically, between now and May or June, we've got about 9 months, I guess, or so, and which would give you some time to get something going with to give you contact with clinical medicine in the civilian context, and I think that would be helpful. So boil it all down. What I would say is, I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing, with a caveat, and the caveat being, obviously continuing to do well in your coursework, and then amplifying whatever experiences that you can get in terms of clinical activities would be very, very helpful. But I think, all in all, is your expectation that you were kind of thinking of applying 21 for the 22 class? Is that your
yes? That was my plan.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, I think that's a good plan. I think you've got now that you've got the MCAT behind you, you can really focus in on the coursework, focus in on the work that you're doing with on getting some clinical experiences and stuff. Hopefully the Red Cross thing will work out. And then also my hope and I'm sure yours as well would be to allow your EMT certification to be able to help you find some stuff that would give you some experiences, and I think a lot of this is going to be about how you talk about it in the personal statement. You're going to want to craft that in a way, definitely to illustrate well, not only what is the genesis of your desire to go to medical school, but also how that played out through your military experience, and now as a civilian, how that continues to play out. That's going to be crucial in terms of writing that in a way that's understandable to the medical school admissions committees, but also, in your estimation, tells your story well. Mm-hmm. So definitely encourage you to do that well. Get a variety of people in your life that you trust and to help you read it. Obviously, I'll give a short caveat, a short commercial for MAP services and the services that we offer in terms of editing and for personal statements and mock interviews, and as well as other things with regard to advising. So, but whatever you do in terms of your personal statement and your the secondary essays and stuff, obviously having people that you trust and that are well versed in kind of the med school sort of stuff. Obviously seeking out assistance from your institution, advisors at Rutgers would be beneficial as well. Now, you've had contact with the advisors at Rutgers so far, or no? Yeah, good.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's really important, I think, to continue those relationships. So all in all, what I would say, to you, Peter, is I'd feel comfortable in you moving forward to application next summer. With, as I said before, with the small caveat that I think it depends a little bit on kind of where you are in terms of the post-bac classes and how you've performed in those classes. We what we're wanting to see is something 3.5 or better in post-bac stuff, and really emphasizing how important that is to crafting an application that shows that you have the academic ability to sit in the classroom day after day, or virtually, I guess these days, to be able to do it at a high level. So how do you feel about that?
That's a lot of encouragement that I just got, and I also needed. I just wasn't sure where I would be standing, and
Yeah.
in the whole
Yeah.
pre-med world.
Yeah, and that makes total sense to me. I mean, what I would encourage you to do is stay motivated, encourage yourself that you're on a pathway that you feel strongly about and that you want to pursue, and staying motivated is really, really important. And so use whatever things that you have at your disposal to really motivate yourself, whether that's friends or family. Hopefully you've got people in your life that are real cheerleaders for you and are real fans for you and will really stand up and cheer you on as you go through all this. Those are very important, people to have in your life. And so hopefully you've got some of those people around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The support system, that's the only reason I'm able to continue this in the first place.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's great. Well, kudos for you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for the service that you made to our country and in your military service. I can't say enough how honored I am to be able to assist you in this small way along your journey to medical school. And I hope that as you continue on and as you go about your journey, that you'll keep in touch with us, and let us know how things are going for you. We'll be anxious to hear, and my hope is, and I'm sure yours as well, that by this time next year, you're going to be a first-year medical student somewhere, or in 2 years, and you're going to be interviewing this time next year, and that 2 years hence, you're going to be in medical school somewhere, and that you're going to be, totally overloaded by all the medical school curriculum, but you're going to be loving it.
Yes, please. that would be dream comes true.
Yeah, I bet. Well, thank you again, Peter, and we appreciate you being on Am I Ready, and good luck to you in your future. And as I said, keep in touch with us.